Welcome, readers. Stay tuned for my spoiler-free review of an Audible original novella, Hold Your Breath, written by Wendy Walker. But first, a word from today's sponsor.
Hey, readers! Are you trying to read more books by Black authors, or have you been doing this? Either way, check out supportblackauthors.com to stay up to date on what's going on in the Black bookish world. We just recently released a trivia game to test out your knowledge of Black authors and have planners designed just for book bloggers. Head on over to supportblackauthors.com and use code SHELF for $3 off and free shipping. Happy reading!
Welcome to the Shelf Addiction Podcast, and thank you for streaming or downloading today's Shelf Byte episode. If you're new here, Shelf Bytes feature spoiler-free book and audiobook reviews in just a few minutes. I'm your host, Tamara Ford. If you'd like to chat with me about the book reviewed in this episode, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shelf Addiction. In addition, don't forget that you can always find me both in our Facebook group, Shelf Addiction Official, or over on the Patreon page. Speaking of Patreon, thank you to all of our members. Your support means so much. If you'd like to show your support for the show, please consider becoming a Shelf Addiction Patreon subscriber. You'll gain access to exclusive Patreon-only content, including monthly live streams, uncut video of podcast recordings, stickers, t-shirts, and more, depending on your subscription level. Join us now by clicking in the show notes or go to shelfaddiction.com and click on the Support Us tab. Help us make even more bookish content for your ears. If you'd like to show your support in a non-monetary way, please share this episode with bookish friends or on your favorite social media space. Let's jump into it. I selected today's title because I've been feeling the fall vibes here in Michigan, and I wanted a few of what I like to call snack-size stories, ones that I could blast through and enjoy in one sitting. I've read Wendy Walker in the past, and I enjoyed those books, so when I saw Hold Your Breath, I thought, why not? This story was specifically written for Audible Studios, so you won't be able to find this novella in print. You'll need an Audible account. If you don't have Audible and you'd like to give it a try, there is an affiliate link in the show notes below, and you can try a lot of these for free as a part of their program. And no, this is not sponsored by Audible, but if you use my link, I do get a few cents. This unabridged audio ran 2 hours and 31 minutes. It was narrated by Dylan Baker, and it was released October 1st, 2020 by Audible Studios. I'm going to start with the Audible synopsis for Hold Your Breath. Gabby Ashford has just survived an attempt on her life. Detectives have connected her story to 2 other cases in the area. Professional women drugged at a bar, brought to their homes, and drowned in their bathtubs. Gabby, who miraculously woke up in her bathtub unharmed, could be the key to finding the serial killer on the loose, but she has no memory of the attack. Gabby admits herself into a high-end rehabilitation center to recover and to seek the help of a psychiatrist renowned for his work with memory recovery. As Dr. Forrester works with Gabby, interviewing not only her, but her overbearing fiance, her emotionally fragile brother, and the local detective working on the case, questions about Gabby's story, her past, and ethics of memory recovery emerge. Dr. Forrester, the central voice of Walker's breakout debut, All Is Not Forgotten, is a fascinating and deeply complicated character, barreling toward the truth of a case at hand while wrestling with the demons of his own past. Shocking and succinct, Hold Your Breath will have you on edge of your seat from the first minute to the last. Okay, that is what Audible has to say, and I found it pretty interesting that Dr. Forrester has shown up in Walker's books previously, and I did not read All Is Not Forgotten, so I don't have any previous experience with that character. So with that said, let's just start with the characters. So as you just heard, the story is told from mostly Dr. Forrester's point of view, and he is an interesting character. He's clearly there to help. His intentions are good. And for whatever reason, he really doesn't trust Gabby's memory on certain events as she starts to, I guess, uncover them. Where Gabby is concerned, she sort of wasn't there for me. But what I mean by that is her character was exactly how Wendy Walker described someone that wasn't memorable. You saw them, but they were average. You don't remember much about them or the details. You just remember someone being there. That's kind of Gabby for me. She was kind of blah, for lack of a better word, until the end. Then things got interesting. I did enjoy what I learned about the other characters in the story from Gabby's fiance. Her brother was especially interesting. I did like his story. I did like how his role played into things. I also found that a few of the other characters floating around in the background did add some value as well. So the plot was tight and easy to understand, and as we listen along, you can start to tell pretty early that something is off. Just as Dr. Forrester starts to pick up on things, so do we. For a novella, the pacing was as expected, and I had no issues with it. The audiobook narrator did a great job. I really enjoyed his voice and what he brought to the table. I definitely will make a little note to definitely check out more by him at a later time. I enjoyed that there was a nice twist at the end, which is always appreciated. While I found that I enjoyed this story overall, I thought it was good, but it didn't grip me at all. And it wasn't very suspenseful in the way that makes me sit on the edge of my seat with my ears tuned in, waiting to see what happens. There was the twist at the end, as I mentioned, and there were misdirects throughout the story to keep things interesting, but it just didn't have that it factor that, kind of generates that anxious feeling that I can get when something really pulls me in, especially if it's really creepy or really intense. And I don't want to say more than that, as I don't want to spoil anything, but definitely do check out Hold Your Breath if you are an Audible member. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. It was enjoyable and it was a quick listen at 2.5 hours approximately. I enjoyed this while I was checking my emails and having lunch. And I definitely recommend this if you're looking for an audiobook to squeeze in for the month. I am in the horror thriller mood right now, so I'll be listening to a few more of these snack-sized titles included with my Audible membership. Have you listened to any of the ones released for October yet? If you have, please let me know which ones. Thanks for tuning in today. I look forward to speaking with you in the next episode. And until then, happy reading. Take care, everyone. If you enjoyed today's book chat episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review. You can follow me on Twitter at Shelf Addiction. Most importantly, you can share this podcast with friends and family that enjoy all things bookish, including author interviews. Thank you for listening, and until next time, happy reading.